Really, I think people were trying
Very organized, very organized.
Okay, turn time. Okay, let's call the meeting to order. Welcome all, 5:35, April 11th, meeting of the Scituate Council on Aging Board of Directors.
Ladies, meeting has been called to order.
We'll do a quick round of introductions. I'm J.D. Miller, Chair. I'll go this way. Linda.
Linda Hayes Kelly, Director.
Kelly Welsh, Outreach Coordinator.
Pat Carlton, Board Member.
Marie Fricker, Board Member.
Susan Pope, Board Member.
Laurie Brady, Board Member.
Leslie James, Board Member.
Dee Dwyer, Board Member.
Welcome all. Thank you for coming. Before we jump into Marie's minutes, who is tonight's recording secretary?
Unless anybody else wants it.
I'd take it if I could.
So Lori.
Laurie.
So please take a look at March minutes. I must say, I did not get a chance to take a look at these, so I'm going to look at them now. But
Oh, and Pat, you're not late.
What?
You thought
you were going to be late.
Yeah, I just dropped them off. Anyway.
It's the cancer support study.
Signed up for.
Good minutes.
It's unanimous. Marie.
Yeah, it really does. I can't write it the other way. It's only, yeah, no, it's great.
She can't help herself.
Laughing at the Hudson flowers, aren't you?
Scrumptious.
Oh, what about the fascinating history of the big?
Yeah. Everybody had a chance to take a look at minutes? Anybody have any comments, omissions, edits, changes? Look, very comprehensive.
Very comprehensive.
Well, it was actually supposed to be, yeah.
Thank you, Maria. Is there a motion to approve the March 14th minutes?
Meetings, minutes.
Leslie, do I have a second?
Second.
Pat, thank you. Well, we're pleased as always to have Kelly Walsh here, and Kelly, you were going to start us off because you sort of need to get moving, right? Yeah, no. Understood. Hey, Russ. What's going on with?
So, yes, Kelly's going first before me tonight.
Yeah.
Outreach Coordinator since November, but officially full-time since March. And not covering, say,
Yeah.
social daycare.
No longer interim social
Right,
day program
right,
coordinator.
So it's been great. I love all aspects of it. I love the meeting and greeting of people, going to the houses to help people that are homebound. I love whether it be helping them fill out SNAP applications or fuel assistance, a lot of social security questions, a lot of people that just maybe are not 100% with the computer skills,
Yeah.
so they come in and I do everything for them right there. And it has just been, it's been really good. I've done a little bit of some classes on hoarding and Medicare and end-of-life conversations, which have all been great. They were all pretty much in March. So it's kind of a really broad spectrum of, like, whereas transportation was transportation. Now I'm kind of all over, but I'm loving every aspect. I feel like a sponge, and I'm trying to soak up everything I can and then help as many people as I can.
Could I, so, Maria, how often do you go to someone's house to be able to, versus having them come in?
Definitely.
Just curious. I mean, I'm sure they
Couple
love
times-
having somebody
A
come.
couple times a week, depending on the
Okay.
scenario. I have a lady that's vision impaired, so I go there to help her open her mail, read her mail, file it. There's some hoarding residents that we have that I'm kind of helping, get their trash situated and sign them up with launch out of Cohasset and kind of start the process of let's get a little bit under
Yeah.
control here, and
Yeah.
very well received, whatever. That's been good. So definitely a few times a week, but only at like an hour.
Yeah.
Each person maybe. So it's nice. And then a lot that people come to me. With it's hard to go to someone's house if they need help with anything with the computer. I'd rather them just come to me and sit in my office and we can just do it
Enter,
there.
yeah, enter here, right.
Handyman volunteer program has started to pick up. That's going really well.
Good.
We are hoping to start a newcomers group here starting next month. Trying to get some people that may be unsure of whether they want to be part of the senior center to kind of get them to see what it's all about.
So newcomers would be newcomers to the senior center or newcomers to town?
Both,
Okay.
yeah.
Seniors or newcomers.
Yeah. Yeah, so either one or, whether they're.
Good introduction.
Town, so we're gonna put that in the newsletter. I'm dealing with people that are like, oh, I don't really know anybody here, and I'm like, why don't you come to the senior center? And they're kind of like hesitant. I'm like, well, if we had like a meet and greet or a coffee to just kind of say, oh, you're both new, or you're both new to the senior center, I thought that it might open up some friendships and see what the senior center's all about.
It's a nice proactive idea, because a lot of times they have been a separate faction, and I think this is a good.
So that hasn't started yet, but it's something that you're planning
So
on? Would it be like a monthly thing that
We're gonna do it every month, like the first Thursday of every month. We did start up again, I know it is for April, but going to the housing authorities again, so I want to kind of get the numbers up for the people that come visit us when we're at the housing authorities. So I do go there now to each one once a month, just as
Good.
kind of an information.
So, my wife has a couple hospice patients that she visits here. I think one is like 99 and another one's 97. And is that, and she goes and spends time and plays Scrabble.
Oh, nice.
That's nice.
So is that something that we're involved in as well, or no?
Like a friendly
Not
visitor.
really, yeah. I mean, officially, it could be a friendly
Right.
visitor program, which we have done in the past before we were here.
Yeah.
And we've talked about it. It does involve some training of the volunteers and some, parameters, but, so we could. I don't know how Dot gets those. I mean, does she just know of them, or do people contact her, or is it?
She's part of the hospice
She is.
B&E.
I mean, sometimes we know of people who are maybe a little bit more homebound, and that is why Kelly might go out to them for various reasons, but it's not really
Yeah, we don't have a program for it.
Right.
Okay.
and/or volunteers. It's tough.
But we have kind of touched on it, so it could be something down the road. that we will get up and running.
We'll tell your story, your success story.
Oh, about
Yeah.
to Sunrise, that one? So two Scituate ladies, both had homes here in Scituate. One ended up moving to Life Care for a few months, and then one was at her home. She was legally blind. So we did get them to move to Sunrise, which was a big deal because the one that was living at her home by herself was legally blind, falling. So it was difficult for her to, she was getting Meals on Wheels, but it was getting more difficult for her. She couldn't drive anymore, so she was a bit isolated. She wanted to be with her sister who was at Life Care, so we ended up getting them both to move. So that was huge. That just happened last week, so I was happy for them.
Yeah.
She got assistance from one of the lawyers that does come here for us, but at the same time, Kelly had been, and maybe a little all of us, because whoever she could get on the phone, but picking up prescriptions for her, or getting to the house for whatever needs she might have at that moment. And you know, happy to do it, but you can't keep on doing that for that long.
So they
it was
had
a
the
really,
means, they had the means to go to Sunrise, because
They
that's
did.
not cheap.
it did involve
It's not
selling
cheap.
both homes.
Yeah,
So
they'll be selling their homes.
that had to be coordinated, or is being coordinated.
Right, but they have no family, and there's no one that they can rely on, so that was the tricky part as well. I mean, absolutely no one, and that's rare that there's nobody, but they do not have anybody, so.
But checking out the available places, yes, they had some means, but still finding the right one, and they did have to meet, or did meet, in addition to the lawyer, with the,
Steve Carrier,
sort of a housing specialist. So, anyway, it was,
So do they have?
Well done.
Help them to sell their homes?
they haven't sold them, they have a realtor, so that's, will be in the process fairly shortly, I would assume.
All right.
Did you say they're sisters?
They're sisters, yeah.
And they had a sharing?
They're not, no, they're not a shared room, that wouldn't work. So one is more in memory care and one is the
Yeah.
floor
Okay.
down, so.
Okay.
So far, I mean, like I said, it's only been, they moved in last week, so it really hasn't been long. But then I've also been doing like a lot of outreach with other like resources to remember, which was at Faring Way, to kind of get a group of resources that I can rely on to pass to people that need services. A lot of them happen to be out in the Weymouth, Quincy area. So what I would also like to do is kind of collaborate with, say, Marshfield, Norwell, Cohasset, and create a resource. We have our own resource list, but collaborate with them so that we have more of a South Shore resource list, that we all can know that, okay, this came from Marshfield, they know it's a great resource, or it came from Scituate, they really, say it's number one. So I kind of want to.
I just picked up the Marshfield resource guide today, so
Oh, yeah.
I'll drop it off to you.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great, yeah. Yeah, because everyone has their own little resources, and it would be nice to kind of definitely have a South Shore one.
Yeah.
But that resource tour, the one I went to, that Steve Carrier is a part of, Faring Way, hospice, great group of people, and they'll be coming here in June to actually do a presentation here in June.
Very well.
Yeah, Faring Way is part of it, yeah, they will, but all of these resources to remember, this group, this collaboration, will come here and actually do a little presentation for anybody that's interested in
like
it.
a panel? or-
Yeah, it's like a panel, or it could be like Steve Carrier's kind of doing it, so through Jess, so whether he's doing a breakfast or the Friday
Community
lunch or
resources.
one
Is it
something.
set yet?
What was it?
Is the date set yet?
It may be, but it's
Yeah.
for the May, June newsletter,
Yeah,
so we
it's
might not
June,
know it.
so I'm not sure off
It's
the top
not
of my
a-
head. So Jess set that one up, but it is very interesting. And they were all really nice, so. And then the accessibility fair that we did in March, that went really well. A lot of different contacts there.
How are you vetting handyman?
So they pay for their own products, the person, and they've been doing the work themselves. They just volunteer.
No,
They-
but, yeah,
Oh, where am I?
how do you vet the project?
Oh, project. Well, if they're willing to do it, I mean,
Right.
they should be small. We did write up an agreement that we had.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
So they're smaller projects, they're not like, if it was a large project, I would see if South Shore Habitat for Humanity could do it. Because they are grant funded and they do have a program for helping people in need with repairs to their homes.
Mhm.
So if it was a larger thing, like a roof or
Yeah.
whatever.
no, our handyman's not gonna do the roof, right?
Right, I mean, they'd like fix a fence, fix, you know, some drywall. Some may do electrical, but for the most part, they don't generally do electrical or plumbing. But the ones that have used them have been very happy to use them.
How many people have you enlisted for this? In terms of the.
For counting South
Handyman.
Shore Community Action and our handyman,
Well, I was just thinking of that,
just our handyman,
Yeah.
I've given it out to
We have 2.
4 or 5 people.
No, we have 2 or 3
Oh,
handymen.
yes, but giving it out
Who
to,
happen to be men.
yeah, giving their names out to 3 or
Right.
4 people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, about 3 or
Because I know
4.
a friend of mine had reached out to me about that. They
Yeah.
were-
Okay.
And so I was wondering if he was.
Well, the first mention in the newsletter was really just this past
Yeah.
one,
Yeah.
even though we've been meaning to kind of get it off the ground and we
Right.
had the guys, but we hadn't really
Mhm.
advertised it, so only if they came to someone and we knew they needed them.
Yeah.
But now, people might see it and call.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, reach out, have them reach out and call
Yeah, he
them.
may already be one of the
Maybe,
people.
could be.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Anybody got any questions for Kelly?
It's nice to hear your enthusiasm.
Busy.
Doing a little or a lot of everything, so.
Are you seeing much for it?
More than I thought I would, yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
Uh,
you mentioned about using launch as well
Yeah.
for trash. just because
Oh, I
of those
love
requests.
Launch. Launch is amazing in Cohasset. So they will, so what the program is, if you don't know the program, it's individuals with special needs that have aged out of the high school, so I got 22,
Mhm.
they go and they can work at Launch, and Launch tries to train them on various work, whether it be learning how to go and pick up trash, not like, you know, bags and put them in the truck. They'll go to the housing authorities and they make up little healthy snacks. So they'll go to one of the housing authorities once a month and hand out healthy snacks that they put together in their kitchen. They sometimes come out with their truck when it's warmer and they'll offer food to the housing authorities for people. They'll give a date. They usually advertise it. I said to start advertising through us so we can help them get more people to come and take advantage of some of their services. So for them to go weekly to an individual's home, they charge them $5 to pick up trash. It could be 10 bags of trash. You have to have Cohasset bags, it's not Scituate bags, and they have to be in a Cohasset bag, and they take them to the Cohasset dump. But it's like every Friday, so like I have now, that I've set up 4 different residents, and prior to that, they already go and do some. They will do some things like light housekeeping, not sure exactly to the extent of the housekeeping that is. But they'll also do light yard work. So these are all a training program for these students, or they're not students now because they're 22. So it's a win-win. It's a win for me to have someone collecting trash for someone who can't get to the dump. And it's a win for these individuals that are learning how to maintain a job.
Right.
So it's.
At
it's
22,
one-
they age out of,
When they age out of high school,
and it's like,
yeah.
what do we do now?
Yeah.
Right.
So this program, it's Monday through Friday, there's one in Cohasset, and I believe they have a Hingham office.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Are
I
they
love
just
it.
for people in that town, in those towns?
No.
We don't.
Well, we're Cohasset, I mean, they're Cohasset and they come to
Oh,
us.
they do, it.
Yeah.
They've always, it's been around for several years.
Yeah,
It was
they were
started
from-
by someone
from
else
us,
and now it's,
yeah.
whether
Right.
branched out, I don't know, and have different administrators now, or, but
Who
we,
administers it?
who administers it? Well,
Brian Stewart is the one for Cohasset, but I don't know enough about it to know if there's someone someone over him, like,
Yeah.
in a larger
It used to
office.
be Kevin McCourt had,
Yeah.
as far as I knew, I thought he had started it, but he's no longer involved. But they are the,
Lunch.
they are the individuals that come and
Come
do
for
the
lunch.
set up and clean up.
And they actually work with South Shore Elder Services to help them, like say on a holiday, pre-Easter, and they had a ton to deliver for Easter meals on the Friday before, then Launch will go and help them deliver a lot of the Meals on Wheels too. So they do quite a lot.
I'm lost. Okay, garden club. Not yet, but I will excuse myself when I go. Sorry.
So that's been fun. I mean, like I said, I'm kind of spreading myself all out, trying to soak everything up and see what I can do to help where I can help.
Well, I'll come back to hoarding. You work with the fire department a little bit?
So I do. So
Yeah.
I just did a class.
Does
It
that
was-
lead come to you from the fire department, or is it, does it come to you and then you alert them?
So it could be it could
Could
be
be
both.
either, good.
So we all just did a class through BU, and then I was there yesterday, it was an online course, and then we had our final course yesterday at the police station. So there was all of our social workers, like Erica, and then the ones that are grant funded, that are Stephanie, and then Samantha and the student Cullen were there. The fire departments from Scituate and Cohasset, and then there was Norwell, Hingham, whether they were, you know, their outreach or their social workers were all there finishing the course as well. So I could walk into a house and see that there was hoarding, or Erica could, or the fire department could because someone falls. So it's kind of a collaboration, you kind of need everyone on board with it.
So
But,
how does the de-hoarding process take place?
well, it depends on, because everyone's different, you know, it depends on the individual and how, it's a slow process. I
So
was
do
at
you
a house.
help with that?
I did, I started with this the 2 families that I'm helping with right now. And I was there today helping someone, and she's very positive, very upbeat, and, you know, I know that I can't go in there and say, let's just
Yeah.
do this whole kitchen.
Right,
You know, it has to be like, let's do this.
Right.
yeah.
And we did, and she was happy, she's thankful. I felt like I made a little progress, and off I went from my hour, and it was good, so.
And that's what the class here said, you do small chunks.
Yeah.
Like a year ago.
It just starts small.
Yeah, no, it definitely was eye-opening, because I didn't realize how many, and a lot of it, some stems from COVID, and some might stem from a childhood trauma, or it could stem from even a divorce or loneliness. I mean, there's so many different reasons.
Yeah.
But the course was interesting, and I'm finding it useful. Yeah,
That's great.
so,
Good.
yeah.
How did they price again, their services?
The for-
launch people?
the launch. So I'm not sure where he gets his figure from, but the ones that I have set up, one he quoted $4, and then the other 2, it was $5 a week. So whether they had just had an increase, but that's what they charge
That's
for them to come to the house, and you leave it outside, and they take it away. Yeah.
And is it per bag?
I mean, nope, it's for pickup. I mean, and it would be
No, the client
need-based.
supplies the bags.
Yeah, you supply
So
your
they're
own
just
bag.
picking it up and taking it to the dump.
Yeah, they're just picking it up, bringing it to them, you supply your bags, and then it is, a need-based, but definitely one that has definitely come in handy for the 3 that I've recently set up. There was, and then if there is, like, say they lived at Central Park, and there's a dumpster on the grounds, they'll take it to the dumpster, so then it wouldn't have to be in Cohasset bags.
Yeah.
Only if there's not a dumpster on the premises,
Right.
so.
So anything that they pick up here, so there's no way you give them Scituate bags and they
No, we tried that, yeah.
How do you get the composite bags for them?
They have
Well,
the-
Shaw sells them, Shaw sells
Yeah.
Cohasset and Scituate bags, so it's just a matter of getting the Cohasset ones instead. I mean, we have purchased to get them going, we did purchase a little bit just to kind of get the ball rolling for them. But then they will continue on their own to get their bags.
It's a win-win, like you said.
Yeah, absolutely,
It is.
absolutely.
It's
yeah.
good. Does anybody have any questions for Kelly? Great job.
All right.
Appreciate it. Keep it up.
You have lots of enthusiasm.
Off to my murder mystery.
She's got a date, yeah.
Those were murder mystery.
A murder mystery up in Hanover.
Oh, I love those.
So give you feedback on how it is.
All right, enjoy, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Bye.
Linda?
So next week, the Garden Club on Thursday night is here, using the banquet room and doing a presentation and having a reception, public. It was open to the public, but that was a mistake. Somebody thought it was tonight.
Oh, it's tonight.
I mean,
That's Jane.
anyway, so apologies there. But, all right, well, hi everybody, and shortest report for me ever. I was on vacation for a week, which was nice. We have 81 new members that registered for this past month, March. Last report, we had 100, I believe, I guess that was for February. So, I mean, that's steady, that's great. We can hear almost daily, people coming in, and we ran out of newsletters last week, more or less. And then we had some of the welcome packets that Jess does prepare for people, so those still had some newsletters in them, but those got rifled. And then we put one newsletter in some plastic so people could at least look at it at the desk.
And
but,
save it, right.
You know, that's come close to happening or happened in the very last week of the month, but this is pretty early
I
to
had
run out.
6 or 7 people yesterday.
Yeah, crazy, so, you
It's
know.
like,
But, so, some news on that front, interesting. We do sign an agreement with LPI, and that is every 3 years, so that's come to me again. And so in discussing maybe what we could do differently, because in the past, we were really limited to doing it every other month and doing the number of pages, but we've sort of creeped up a little bit when they allowed us to, because maybe we got some new advertisers. So now this time, she said, yeah, we could have gone to once a month. I shouldn't say that because we really, at this point, don't want to. It's a lot of work,
It's a lot of work.
and it's, you know, it's a difficult couple of
It would be
weeks.
great if we could, but it's a lot of work.
But it is a lot, and in some ways, and Jess feels this way, we are putting a lot of information that people really can retain for those couple of months, and not have to just have them wait to hear the next month. So it really does kind of work for us.
Yeah.
Maybe we're just used to it, and maybe everybody is used to it. But we could increase pages, so we're going to have 4 more pages,
Oh.
so it's gonna be even bigger. But we're also going glossy. I'm kind of excited about this, because I used to wonder how we got this, so this is an
It's
example.
just.
Those are just examples. I might have the Falmouth one, the Falmouth Senior Center, same architects as ours, so you might, when you look at the building and stuff, there's similarities.
Yeah, for glossy stock, right?
But it's glossy, yes, glossy stock.
Nice.
nice.
So I thought it was worth a try because it's kind of a little fancy. We have had pages,
It won't be so hard to find stuff.
it might not. And even if we do end up nicely enough with a little more white space, just to let things sort of come out better instead of everything all crammed together.
Yeah.
So we'll see, and we can also go up. Right now, we've been ordering 2,200, which is the mailing, plus what we distribute from here or to housing, or to the other sites. But we upped it to 2,400. Unfortunately, it actually doesn't start until October 1. But one of the other things we're gonna try to do yet again, we've tried this before, instead of the calendar for each month being just one 8.5 by 11 page vertical portrait, we'd rather have 1 month, like a centerfold, right, 2 pages, and then the next month the same thing. So they'll have somebody work with Jess or work with us anyway to see if that could be done. So that's 2 pages that, of the 4 that we would use for that, in that way.
So how many pages is it now? 16?
So now it's 16,
You gotta bump up
but
to
some
20.
of it's advertising.
Yeah.
And now, the other thing we asked is if, instead of having half pages, which they retain for advertising and then we get half, we want a whole page, so they can make an advertising page a whole page too. So they said yes to that. So anyway, Sounds like it'll be
When you
good.
get the two pages together, it really makes an impact.
Yeah,
It
up in the
does.
pages and up in the quantities. Good.
Yeah.
So as good as our format has been, I think that'll be kind of a nice little upgrade.
How much more does it cost?
Well, remember, it doesn't cost us anything as long as we have the advertising dollars to support it. So at one point, they were in the red with us, so we could get more. Now evidently, we're in the black.
Good.
The salesperson for LPI, we like her a lot. She comes at least once a year for a week, sometimes twice, just to kind of get into the community, see if there's any new businesses or people she can call. And she's very friendly and enthusiastic and nice. So I think that's been helpful. She
So are
knows
they the
her,
ones
she
that
knows her
get the
thing.
advertising?
Hmm?
Are they the ones that get the advertising?
Yes, they are. Well, way back when we first started, I wasn't here, but when this was available, it was a little awkward, like, we
Yeah.
didn't wanna advertise, we didn't wanna have to get advertisers,
Right.
that seemed odd. And not that we were, not sure about how LPI would go about it, but anyway, when they bought, what happened is they bought, like, what used to be Senior Center Publishing, something like that. They already did churches, they took on this, and anyway, now it's been years and they do a good job with both. So, but that's how they support it. Also, I mean, it's not a done deal yet, but MCOA reported this week to us, to directors, that in the legislature, the House Ways and Means Committee has proposed $15 per elder in their budget proposal. So we got $14
Yeah,
per
okay.
elder this year,
Bump up a little.
based on our approximately 6,600 older adults here, 16 over. So $15 an elder would up the amount that we get from the state. Now, it still goes to the Senate and it still has to go to the governor and be
Right.
signed. So that's the beginning. But they did add it and that was nice. And so any input we have with the legislators that are ours is good. They usually support us anyway.
Mhm.
We have the high school art exhibit downstairs, which I'm sure you have seen, and has been nice. People love to see the talented students.
Very.
But for May and June, both, downstairs is a woman an artist named Virginia Holloway, and it's fiber art. They look a little bit like quilts, but they are artistically rendered and out of different fibers. So it'll be kind of big downstairs, and that'll look great. And then for upstairs, I've actually contacted someone who does some beautiful sea glass art that I just think might be nice for people to see. It's all local, she does a really nice job, so I'm gonna try to get that in here too. In the interim, because then we have the middle school upstairs. So we are at least filling the walls, although not today, so I don't like to have the strings hanging, but then I hate to take them all off and then just put them back on again, so it looks a little, it doesn't look great.
So you gotta check, yeah, it's turnover, that's all.
So our social day program really maintained from last month. Lucille's doing a great job. We have 3 volunteers who've sort of all returned, so are now rotating, and they know the program and have worked both with Jen and Kelly, so now working with Lucille is great. We have had an intern from Bridgewater State University in the social work department, and I did have her go up and help Lucille a couple of times with activities that she was doing, not to mention that it is nice that they're technically very proficient, and so Lucille likes that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, she actually asks if she can go up now. You know, we have had her with Kelly working on the resource booklet and sort of mining some of the other senior centers newsletters, different things, just to see if there's other resources we should know about or could have available. But anyway, she likes coming up here and working with the group and with Lucille, so that's been nice. We have her just through the end of this month. So our event to celebrate and announce our national accreditation as well as our 3rd anniversary or birthday, I did decide to set the date for Friday, May 17th, so hopefully everybody is able and on board there. I did mention it to the town administrator. And I thought 11 o'clock was a good time, midday to have the program, but without it feeling like it had to be a full lunch. So the plan would be to have refreshments and small finger sandwiches or some things. But it's tricky also because Fred
Out on Friday?
is going
Had
out
knee
on
surgery,
knee
right?
for knee surgery.
Oh.
But literally, he's having it done Monday. So, I mean, he may be available for some help. Amy isn't available that day, unfortunately. But they can do some prep for us and maybe make some of the stuff, and, you know, just like the old days, we could actually do some of the work. It's fine, and I could also have some catered. I just thought, well, we're celebrating the accreditation, much of which has to do with our lunch program and whatnot. Kind of too bad if I say, but we're having this catered. But they're going to do what they can do, and then I think we might have a cake done elsewhere, which is fine, any
Oh,
desserts,
If
nobody's
Fred
gonna
can make
expect
it,
that.
we'll serve him.
Yeah, he could
Let him
come,
sit-
right, that is
Sit and
nice.
put his leg up and we'll serve him.
So the idea would be to invite, you know, our local politicians, as well as, well, between the board, the committee members, the department heads or other town employees that might have helped us with the accreditation, frankly, as well as any town or department people that might like to join us. May 17th.
Oh,
It's the Friday. So 11 to 12:30 or 11 to 1, or I don't know if I should put an end date on it if anyone has an opinion, but I figure there'll be a program, some talking, some thanking.
You need a piano playing?
And we do need and some music, I would love some music, so
Sure.
I'll tell them.
mention that date.
Do you need
Yeah.
volunteers for that, to help?
I'm sure that would be great to do that, yep. We can talk about it, well, I guess there won't be another meeting, but I can definitely reach out and let you know, for sure. So I don't know exactly how, I just assume we'll open it up to patrons and anyone really in the community who might want to attend, but that does sound scary. But, hoping for a nice day and just that idea that we, you know, talk a little bit, have some music, have some conversation and some food and refreshments. Anybody think of anything else that we should do? Maybe a slideshow?
Ooh.
Just, you know what I mean, just a looping slideshow.
Yeah.
Running.
I'm running.
A looping
That would be
slideshow.
nice, yeah.
Well, in that case, anybody who has good pictures, send them to me. We have pictures, but. Okay, so that's happening. I am going to go to the conference. You guys convinced me, so I'm going.
Good.
Joanne from Duxbury is going to come with me. Very nice of her, and sharing a room. So we'll just be there for the 2 nights, 2 days, and the award. So feel free to remind me to take the award off the wall, because I almost feel like I have to pack it now, so I don't forget it, because literally that's what they take the picture of,
Yeah.
is the award they've already sent, but now we bring it.
Oh, okay.
What, the banner?
No, I made the banner.
Oh.
They gave the small award we put on the wall, the plaque, I should say the plaque. What else? And volunteer appreciation, which may be in Jess's report as well, of course, is set for Friday, June 14th. And we are asking or having the Friends apply or get a 1-day liquor license for us, which we've not done before, but we thought we'd do like an end of the day, Friday afternoon again, like a 4 to 6, you know, cocktails on the patio kind of thing, and then a dinner. Fred would like to do a dinner for everybody.
Cool.
So that's early dinner. It is a Friday, hopefully that.
I'm still stunned about, Fred, how you gonna do without him?
Well, we have Amy, and she's no slouch. She is a chef herself, and they collaborate a lot. And they designed the menu for the next couple of months with that in mind, just that she was gonna be doing it. And he's available, he really doesn't know whether it'll be a month he's out or 6 weeks. Hopefully not more, but I guess we're lucky right now. We're lucky, we're comfortable, and she's fine with doing it. So that's great. And he's gonna have to do 2, so hopefully this works.
Both of these, you say?
Both
What,
weeks,
at the
yeah.
same time?
No,
One
just
in the phone.
again, one at a time.
Don't do them both at the same time.
I had scheduled the dimmers to be installed tomorrow, but he had to change it. So that's unfortunate, because the rooms that you know we want to install the dimmer lighting is the big room, which is used an awful lot, including every day for lunch almost. And then the fitness room, which is also used an awful lot. So Friday's the best day, and he has the schedule, so hopefully it will still be within the next month when we have a Good Friday to work with. I also spoke with the town administrator about, again, just the parking conundrum and where we could go with this. So, because we do have money in our own gifts and donations account, the project is closed, and that was not supported anyway,
The
really.
construction project she's talking
The
about.
the construction project is closed. And even with that, you remember, the planning board had to approve the spending of that money and didn't see the need when we did the feasibility study when we first opened. So, you know, I know, and things certainly have changed and grown and become busier, I guess I would say. But long story short, we have some money, and if it seems that we could pay for a feasibility study for where to put the parking lot, then he consented to our doing that. So that's one thing, also filling the potholes in the other back lots, because walking is hazardous, I think, so.
Also, driving is hands.
I did ask about that, so I can ask DPW to do that.
They'll just drive faster if the road's paved.
Well, you know what,
Yeah,
that's
sure.
true, and I did ask for 5-mile-per-hour signs from the highway department.
Or
We're
a
just
speed bump or
waiting
something.
for that.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if we had to make that decision about the speed bumps, and didn't take them. But I know they do drive a little fixed. Also, the sign for the driveway should be going in very soon because the ground is warm enough. We couldn't do it this winter. So that's coming. Town meeting, if anybody didn't listen or wasn't there, approved all the budgets, but we were the only one which was announced, sort of in the select board's introduction, that we got a position, so it was stated right off the bat. So I was prepared if anybody had questions about the position, but frankly, I didn't expect that any other questions would come up, and then I was a bit nervous because I didn't have my line items in front of me, and it did look like our budget was doubled a little bit with the purchase services and all.
Wow.
And I honestly, if they'd asked me, I was not sure if I was gonna be able to answer it. I mean, I know generally, but I didn't bring it. So luckily, no questions, no problems, everything passed.
Great.
Good.
And that does mean we can, now Bob Clark and I can work on finalizing the job description, which I've already done, but it maybe could be tweaked. And
So
could
this
be,
be July 1, you could have somebody on board?
yes, which means we could start now to get someone on board.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Is that a full-time position or?
It is a full-time position. It is a full-time position, and we should take that, because that's what's been approved.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Other things have been suggested, but whether they come with a certain skill set, which would also be nice, that we might have needed, that would be good. So we'll see. Okay, so we heard from Kelly already. Stephanie's, the transportation report is something you've become accustomed to looking at. It looks like her number from March, 73 unduplicated clients for 300 rides, more or less. And of the 300 rides, 150 out-of-town medical. That's still, it's a lot. It does seem quieter with the 2 vans, and of course, some of the rides still being taken on by Social Community Action Council. I had mentioned last meeting, we're just kind of waiting for May to see if GATRA can replace the van that we damaged. So that would be the hope. The other thought had been, of course, then we might in earnest need to look for a different
Another van.
vehicle, van of some sort, not a big van like the other 2, maybe a smaller one, which, not to say that wouldn't be nice to have, it would, it's just, is that how we want to have to spend our money that we have, because it is limited. But otherwise, she's doing a great job. I think I get complimented on the staff all the time, so we are lucky right now to have our roles filled with great employees and people. So that's been good. And Jess's report showing activities first. And and giving you the January, February, and March comparisons. So March, here we are, up again. So that's a good amount, 930 check-ins. I mean, we generally, I guess, would say that 1,000 people more or less come in. Now, this is just events, remember, this is just things that people come in and check in for. You know, we miss some of them, or some just here for social and maybe we don't catch them, or some coming to outreach and don't get in, or some coming to shine, maybe those appointments aren't, they should be in the system, but not to mention the number of people we help over the phone that don't get recorded at all. We try with the outreach section, but we don't get everything.
When we sign in,
Yeah.
which category?
When you sign in, you are information sharing, I think, I believe.
I forgot my, I
Mm-hmm.
didn't take my own keys, so I didn't have mine in front of me.
Yes.
Me too.
Well, sometimes we go back and just shore up everything, especially when it comes to producing the list for our volunteer luncheon, where we need to send out the invitations and just want to be sure we have everyone. So as long as you're on the books, you know what I mean, it's well known how much time we spend.
Did you ask how to sign in? I thought it was volunteer and board meetings.
It is.
She said something different.
Well, the board meetings are
No, she said,
probably,
where was it classified?
yeah.
In this report.
In this report?
Oh, okay.
Well, what happens too is if you were to scan in and touch the event that says you attended the meeting, then you'd be in, I believe it's information sharing as a category.
Okay.
When you go in as a volunteer and do that for your hours as a volunteer, I guess it's two different things. You could do both, you might be doing just one. It's okay, either way. But that is in a different category under volunteers, so, and that, I can't remember, of course, it's just board members, I believe. So anyway, the numbers are good, the exercise is great, we're adding a couple of, not that that was easy to do, but Zumba wanted to add a third, so we had literally a tiny 45-minute slot, and she was willing to take that because Zumba Gold is really a 45-minute program, so
Oh,
I think people will be
is that
just,
Justine?
yes.
I just interviewed her for an article.
Oh, well, so nice.
Yeah, yeah, but I'm just kind of everywhere that she goes. You know,
Yeah.
Scituate naturally is mentioned.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
about her going through the social.
Oh, she's a gem, she
Yeah.
really is a wonderful person.
She is.
So she does this really out of the goodness of her heart as much as she enjoys it herself. So, and then volunteers, of course, I think we seem to be full. A couple new people in the kitchen, a couple of new people on the front desk. Let's see. Anybody see us in the St. Patrick's Day Parade? It wasn't terrible, it was a nice day.
Yeah, it was nice.
And we decided that we could toss candy, since we did end up with candy.
Yeah.
We could toss candy and we were not, no eye contact. That was, maybe I already said that, but that was what, that way, we don't worry about it. If you get it, you get it. If you don't,
That way you don't get.
I'm not worrying about it. So that made it a little bit more pleasant. However, we did run out early. And Joe Swindler, who was driving the van, his daughter actually got out at one point and ran to Village Market and still got more. We had hordes of candy.
Oh, wow.
But she still got more and we still ran out by St. Mary's, I'm sure. It was just,
Well,
but it was nice. And I think the parade itself got kudos for being a good one. Jess mentions a few highlights. For opening day, and actually I wasn't here for the opening day talk by Herb Crehan, who I always do love to hear. And Bruce Marshman had his collection of baseball cards, and I mean, not a small collection, it's years upon years, and all the championship teams. I mean, it's a lot and very fun. So that was one of the March events. Oh, today was the last day for the tax appointments, which was really kind of sad and quick. We got used to having them here, along with actually the numerous people that come in for their appointments. But anyway, they're done, and I really didn't, as the last couple of years, we've done something for them and maybe given them a little gift as volunteers, and we really didn't do that this time. So I may roll them into our volunteer appreciation and get them here, or just
Yeah.
we'll at least send them some notes
That
and a
makes
little,
sense.
and a little
So
gift.
how does that work? Do they do the taxes right while you're there?
Yep. So we have people hanging around a lot more
Yeah, right, I
upstairs.
know,
out
I've
here.
seen them, and then, are there limitations on who can go? I had a crummy accountant this
Oh,
year.
no, you are, anyone
Anyone?
actually, it's not restricted to a certain age, even though they do it here and we advertise it, but any age. You know, it should be somewhat lower income or an inability to get your taxes done easily on your own, but,
It's a great thing, my neighbor was raving about it.
people. And also, it's not just Scituate, because really, they come here and they go to Marshfield. They used to go to Hingham and do not anymore, and the other senior centers in the area are just too small
Right.
to accommodate them, so. You know, we do what we can, oh, Weymouth is the other one, pardon me. So there are 3, but everybody fills up,
Yeah.
and so, I mean, we did pretty well, and we were,
It's
they
Weymouth
kept
Situate,
opening
right?
up, they kept saying, well, okay, we opened up a few more appointments, I'm not sure how, maybe as they get through, they get a little better and more efficient, or they
Yeah.
realize they don't need a whole hour for certain things, or,
I'm sorry, is Weymouth Situate and where?
Marshfield.
Okay.
So, there you go.
And the appointments went really quickly.
Very quickly. They had a new system where they did do them online, so even though
Actually, free.
Jill or I
So
primarily
think about
would
it
make
next
some.
year. As soon as you hear about it,
Right.
make it what it is.
I know, people that wait don't realize that you can't just wait till you have your stuff, you know, you have to anticipate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it went well, and it's a great service, and we're thankful for them, and do want them to know how much we appreciate it, because they're nice people. Ukulele has taken off, which is nice to have it back, so that's on Fridays. Jean Fernandez does a monthly session for us as our in-house TED Talk, which is nice, very, very uplifting, I guess I would say. her talk.
When is that happening?
It's, I think this month it's on the 26th at 9 in the morning, Marie.
Oh. Did you have to break my heart?
So, I want you to come, you can get here, you can do it.
That's right.
We did launch, at least in the newsletter, and it should have happened this Monday, the 8th, the new cancer support group I had mentioned with
Yeah,
Janet Travers,
that's good.
the volunteer. But no one signed up yet, so she's willing to be trying, or at least if people are signing up, she
I'm
would
sure
come.
Janet is wonderful, I mean, she's, but if she could be a long experienced nurse. If I would have not signed up with the hospice.
She
nurse.
said the same thing, so I am going to take that out, and thanks for reminding me, because I didn't do it yet. Yeah, she doesn't think I should mention that she's a
I
hospice
didn't
nurse.
notice that.
Yeah, would you?
A long time hospital.
Well, she was also an oncology nurse, so
That's
long,
true.
long time nurse, practitioner, I don't know, I did meet him, she told me. So, thank you.
But then again, sometimes a lot of the hospice workers are totally volunteer, and just want to do it as something extra to help people. So it doesn't necessarily mean anything, that you have hospice experience.
Only that I think certainly to do that, you are just tremendously giving
That's what I
and,
mean, yeah.
and comfortable working with people's
Mhm.
concerns and.
I'll drain every drop out of her, Linda.
That's right. But anyway, so we are gonna change that language and hope that does
Yeah.
You know, when
improve.
I read that though, I wondered if people got the full meaning of, you want everyone to, because there's a lot of aspects of that will fill needs.
Sure.
And I was kind of surprised.
What about the hospice?
Yeah.
I
don't know,
I did make note of it when I was writing the minutes, but then I thought, well, there's nothing wrong with that. People sometimes really want to do that and love that.
Yes.
Just a volunteer thing, it's not.
Well, there's often a misperception or even an uncertainty about what that means.
Right.
But a misperception for sure,
Oh,
so.
isn't Jimmy Carter still alive in hospice right now? I think he's been in there
Still
about
alive, yeah.
4 years. Yeah.
Well, there's palliative, of course, just
Yeah.
comfort care, which doesn't, it could be for anyone that
Right.
might have that need, and that's not a end of life necessarily step. And nor is hospice, but it normally is perceived that way, I guess. So, I didn't, Well, I think that's why I asked her to do it, first of all, so naturally, I was just, that's what I was.
I think people have a lot, fear with that word, though. I've been
Yeah, I
involved-
do too. I agree.
Involved with
That's
something
true.
recently,
It connotes
and
anything.
when I heard it about somebody,
I would have gone to a support group that was run by a hospice nurse once, so for cancer treatment.
You would not,
No, I feel like that's for in-stage.
okay, you were admitting, yeah,
Yeah, it's scary,
I get it.
it's scary.
So, that said, also, there was just whether or not people came together with, you know, the caregiver and the person who had cancer, or whether they should be separate. So I guess we're tweaking it, we'll see.
Separate.
Yeah, separate.
Yeah, definitely separate.
That's what she said.
Yeah, then they can feel free to say how much the other patient is getting on their nerves.
Yeah. Oh, no, oh, well,
Not my,
whether we have two or it's for the individual, really.
yeah,
Not as much for the caregiver. The caregiver could go to the caregiver support group.
that's right,
There is one, you know.
yeah, yeah.
So, that's what we're gonna do. All right, thank you for your input. Anyway, trips are on, we have Archie Richards coming again, it's his last concert, I think Jess told you that last month.
Mhm.
So hopefully everybody does come to that. Matt York, if you have any amount of country music, desire to hear country, well, it's Willie Nelson's 91st birthday, April 29th. And Matt York is coming on May 3rd, so I think we'll try to drum up some business, you know, for people who do love Willie Nelson, I do. And Foss, I should mention, since Elaine is not here, is having an event, April 26th, it's a Friday afternoon, it's a, not a tea and not a lunch, but there's refreshments and some Danish coming in, and they are hoping people will come, both that are members of Foss to discuss future activities for Foss, but also people who are not, who might be interested in hearing more about it and maybe helping guide some new direction for them, and just maybe even having some input as to how things are done other places. So if anybody's interested in going to that. And last but not least, April 30th, I will also mention, because this has Susan Kelly and her grief groups it was just a recommendation that this woman who does financial planning or assists with financial needs, particularly with women and widows and people in a certain situation. So that is April 30th. Paula Harris is her name, and she has helped us in the past as part of the Aging Mastery Program, I think, and maybe on a panel or something when we were in the old building.
Financial advisor in Dream Architect.
Yeah, she's very good at that idea. So that is that. I don't think I forgot anything.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions for Linda? Because
Thank you.
we do not have any feedback from Karen Canfield, and as you already mentioned, Elaine is not here. So if anybody's got any questions on anything, old business, new business, but otherwise, we've gone through our agenda.
I will, one more mention, which, so if anyone's interested, our men's breakfast / ladies invited for May is going to be Mara Curran is the guest speaker. So Mara is the chair of the select board right now. She's been on the select board probably for the last 5 or 6 or
I think more.
maybe more.
I thought I heard 10.
8 or 9, but the only thing I'll say is when I first came, so I've been here now 10 years, in my first budget cycle, she was chair of the advisory committee.
Okay.
So she had done that for 5 and she was on school committee. So she's done a lot for the town over many years. She's been involved in so much of what's happened, and I thought it would be a nice sort of swan song for her, and people might have questions.
Oh, she's going off the board?
She's
Yeah.
going off the board,
Yep.
yes. In fact, at town meeting, they did give her a couple of proclamations
Oh,
from
good.
local politicians and Congressman Keating. Now, Jim thinks I should invite not just the Patricks to the party, but Congressman Keating as well. So I guess I will to the accreditation. Why not?
Why not? You're always invited. Why?
Anybody else have any other thoughts? Let me know. What do you think should?
I just think that the celebration for the accreditation should be so cool, so exciting.
Okay.
So, like, everybody gets thrilled about what they have, and a lot of work went into it, and,
Yeah.
you know,
Well,
it's
help me
great.
make it, help me make it.
I'll think of something.
All right, thanks. I just wanted to mention that about Mark, because ladies are invited to the men's breakfast, and you come for breakfast, and then
Did
we
you
talk.
say the numbers are down?
I heard that, yeah, on the men's.
Just the last one, and I don't know why, but, the last one we had Drew Shealy, who is the head of the health department. So it was a smaller,
The weather too, this bad weather, everyone was sick.
yeah, we try to really alternate, that I think it is a nice opportunity, and frankly, I think a lot of the group does appreciate hearing from the various town departments that they might not know.
I agree.
So, I mean, we even have Stephen Moan coming, he's the harbor master, big deal to get him, you know what I mean? And maybe a lot of people don't know all the work he's done there, so I do think it's nice.
People like to hear.
But obviously, we do try to inject regular special interest things, but finding those speakers is also not easy.
Right.
So, you know, we do best we can, but usually it's a good crowd. Well, Ed Kelly, he did the march, and I think he had a decent crowd. I think that was about the parade, and I don't know how interested everybody was in the parade, but he dressed up like a leprechaun, and you don't see that every day.
In Scituate?
Anyway,
I think people like hearing a speaker.
but they do like hearing a speaker, and I know sometimes they might judge whether they're coming or not on the speaker, but
On the speaker, right, absolutely.
sometimes, you know, it'd be
Yeah.
nice if they just came anyway and
Right.
whatever. I mean, breakfast is always good, we know that.
Right, and you can't guarantee the speaker all the time, but, yeah.
How many women come?
I will say, occasionally there have been quite a few, 15.
Really?
You know, when you think that
Oh,
we
they
might have
rise.
35 people come. I mean, that's kind of our cutoff for breakfast, is about 35. Sometimes we end up having to put out a couple of extra tables, not set, so that if people want to come just to hear the speaker, but not expect breakfast, then they can. And sometimes we have pastry, and we'll put it out, and if Fred has extra, he'll do that. But, so sometimes maybe, that
Do
way.
they come with their husband? Jim?
Occasionally,
Yeah.
but not all.
Oh, yeah.
Some come together, a couple.
Mhm.
We just don't want to change the name. I guess.
Maybe people can come up with ideas from our group as to speakers that would be of interest.
Please, yes.
And you are the main man, JD.
How's the men's
Because you know what
recreation?
appeals to them.
That's good.
Recreation
I mean,
night, or afternoon, or
the men's
Yeah.
game night,
game night, yeah. Is that
14 to
Tuesday?
18, well, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
In the evening,
Yeah.
And actually, when is the next one?
Is it on Tuesdays,
It is,
generally, or Mondays?
it was Monday, and then it was Tuesday or Thursday. I think
Oh.
the Tuesday one got canceled because of weather, I believe, and then it was a Thursday night. So actually, maybe they've run the course already for now. I don't know, Jess would know those. I didn't set the dates. So we did.
Well,
Anybody
you
else
guys could
have-
always come in and talk about electric cars. I don't know much about.
Oh,
them.
electric cars, that is a nice topic.
For the town?
Electric
They
cars.
have one, yeah.
I see more,
I love it.
more Teslas now than ever. My son drives an electric car. He does like it. His is a Mustang, believe it or not. And actually, there's a couple of women who come to yoga who drive the same car, the Mustang electric
Wow.
car. It's pretty
Yeah, wow.
jazzy.
There's a group in Boston called Drive Green,
Uh-huh.
and they would probably provide you with a speaker if someone was interested in that.
Drive Green, and they're in Boston?
Yes.
Wow.
They're part of it used to be the Boston Fuel Consortium,
Yeah,
and now they've changed their name to the
that's kind of
Green
cool.
Energy
I like the
Consortium.
title, Drive Green.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're very good, and they offer discounts on EVs and stuff like that, so they do group buying and stuff.
Soft shore.
The other idea, along the lines of driving, is Nancy Werner for the bike.
Mhm. Yeah.
And the e-bikes is another one, topic, no?
Anybody have any other issues, items, business, old or new? we can chit chat after we adjourn. Anybody's got anything? Do I have a motion to adjourn? Or can I
Make a motion to adjourn.
have a motion to adjourn? Pat, thank you. Second?
Second?
Leslie, thank you. Thank you all.
All right,
Coming.
very good.
Now we got to front the cameras.